The real reason all INFJs are considered demisexual. While not every INFJ may identify as demisexual, many characteristics of the INFJ personality align closely with the definition of demisexuality. Demisexuality is a sexual orientation in which a person feels sexual attraction only after forming a deep emotional bond. In this script, we'll explore why so many INFJs are considered demisexual, and why this connection between emotional intimacy and sexual attraction resonates so deeply with them. 1. INFJs crave deep emotional connections. INFJs are driven by their need for authentic, meaningful connections. They aren't satisfied with superficial relationships and tend to shy away from casual or short-term flings. For INFJs, emotional intimacy is the foundation of any relationship, including romantic ones. This emotional bond often becomes the key to unlocking sexual attraction, which aligns closely with the core concept of demisexuality. INFJs need to feel understood on a deep level before they can trust someone enough to feel a strong physical or sexual connection. This need for emotional depth is what often leads others to view INFJs as demisexual in nature. 2. Trust is non-negotiable for INFJs. One of the most significant reasons why INFJs may seem demisexual is their strong need for trust in relationships. INFJs are naturally private, guarded, and selective about who they let into their inner world. Without a solid foundation of trust, an INFJ is unlikely to open up emotionally or feel attracted to someone on a physical level. For an INFJ, trust isn't built overnight. It takes time, deep conversations, and vulnerability to establish the kind of bond that leads to both emotional and sexual attraction. This gradual process mirrors the experience of many demisexual individuals, who need to build trust and emotional closeness before experiencing desire. 3. INFJs avoid casual encounters. Casual encounters and one-night stands are often unappealing to INFJs, who see relationships as opportunities to form lasting, soulful connections. INFJs tend to find the idea of quick, surface-level interactions emotionally unfulfilling, and they often reject situations where emotional connection is not the priority. The INFJ's discomfort with casual relationships aligns with the demisexual experience, where sexual attraction isn't immediate but develops through an emotional bond. INFJ's tendency to avoid situations where emotional intimacy isn't a priority further strengthens the association with demisexuality. 4. INFJs are introverted feelers. INFJs are dominated by their introverted intuition and extroverted feeling functions. This combination makes them highly attuned to their emotions and the emotions of others, as well as focused on the deeper meaning behind every interaction. INFJs can often spend long periods in the fate loop, analyzing their feelings and the emotional dynamics around them, which makes them more cautious about engaging in sexual relationships without first understanding their emotional landscape. This focus on feelings, combined with their analytical nature, means that INFJs are far more likely to approach intimacy slowly, often needing a substantial emotional connection before they feel comfortable with physical closeness. This mirrors the typical experience of someone who identifies as demisexual. 5. INFJs prioritize mental and emotional stimulation. INFJs are intellectually and emotionally driven, and they seek relationships that stimulate both their minds and hearts. They value deep conversations, shared values, and intellectual intimacy, which often leads to a slower build-up of sexual attraction. For many INFJs, the physical aspect of a relationship is secondary to the emotional and intellectual connection they feel with their partner. Because INFJs prioritize emotional and mental stimulation, they often experience sexual attraction only after they've established a strong intellectual and emotional rapport. This slow, deliberate process of connection aligns with the experience of demisexuality, where sexual attraction is contingent on emotional bonds. 6. INFJs are selective in their relationships. INFJs are famously selective when it comes to relationships. They don't fall for just anyone, and they tend to be very picky about who they invest their time and energy in. This selectivity stems from their deep need for emotional alignment and shared values. INFJs often find themselves drawn to people who understand them on a deeper level, rather than those who are simply physically attractive. This selectivity is a hallmark of demisexuality, where sexual attraction doesn't occur based on physical appearance alone, but rather through deep emotional connection. INFJs' high standards for emotional intimacy make them more likely to be seen as demisexual by others. 7. INFJs value long-term commitment over short-term pleasure. INFJs are forward-thinking and future-focused. They are always looking for long-term relationships that offer stability and deep emotional resonance. Unlike some personality types that might be more focused on physical attraction or short-term dating, INFJs prefer relationships that offer emotional depth and long-term potential. The INFJ's preference for long-term commitment aligns with the demisexual experience, where sexual attraction grows over time as emotional intimacy develops. INFJs often wait until they've established a strong emotional connection before considering physical attraction, which further solidifies the association with demisexuality. 8. INFJs fear emotional vulnerability. While INFJs crave deep emotional connections, they are also highly sensitive and fear emotional vulnerability. They may be hesitant to let someone in too quickly, often keeping their emotions hidden until they feel completely safe. This cautious approach to relationships means that INFJs will typically take their time before feeling emotionally or physically attracted to someone. The fear of vulnerability and the need for emotional safety before engaging in intimacy is a significant factor in why INFJs may be seen as demisexual. The slow buildup of trust and emotional connection makes INFJs more likely to experience sexual attraction only after they feel fully emotionally secure. 9. INFJs seek purpose in every relationship. INFJs are deeply purpose-driven, and they extend this sense of purpose to their relationships. They don't just want a partner, they want a soulmate. For INFJs, every interaction has meaning, and they seek relationships that align with their deeper sense of purpose. This drive for purpose often leads INFJs to approach relationships with more caution and emotional depth than others. The INFJ's search for purpose in relationships mirrors the demisexual experience of needing a deep emotional connection before feeling attracted to someone. INFJs often see their relationships as extensions of their emotional and intellectual journey, which makes emotional connection the priority over physical attraction. While not all INFJs may identify as demisexual, the traits that define the INFJ personality, such as their need for emotional intimacy, deep connections, trust, and long-term commitment, align closely with the demisexual experience. The slow, deliberate way in which INFJs approach relationships makes them more likely to be seen as demisexual by others. Ultimately, whether they identify with this label or not, INFJs embody many of the characteristics associated with demisexuality, making them unique and highly selective in how they experience attraction.